Hey guys, here Chad from RealNerdCorp.com. Got another review video for you today. This time it's the Making an Impact coverage of A Night You Can't Miss. Just some news and notes. There was a fan incident tonight, second night in a row for Impact. Last night at the TV tapings, a fan was getting way too rowdy and rambunctious and was actually, I guess, kicking Don Callis' chair and just being flat out rude and just being obnoxious, and he was kicked out. Now apparently there's an incident at the beginning of the main event with a fan and Taya Valkyrie, and basically Tommy Dreamer told the guy to knock it off. I don't know if it's the same guy. We'll have to wait and see. Mike Johnson is also reporting that the Impact after Slammiversary will be a documentary type of episode. They won't be filming any new episodes right after Slammiversary. No idea as to why. But the next week they'll be filming and recording stuff in Windsor for the following week. So it's like a week off, I guess. I have no idea why. But there's still going to be an episode of Impact. It just won't have any matches. Again, no idea why. So with that being said, let's talk about this match, this show, this card, Night You Can't Miss. First and foremost, there were, again, audio issues. I don't know why this keeps happening with the product. I would imagine that at this point we have a pretty good idea how to do our TV shows and podcasts and pay-per-view specials and stuff, but did not this time. So the commentary for the audio booth, for the announce table, was loud. Everything else was super fucking quiet. Okay. So we kick off the show with a six-man tag. It is OVE taking on the Rascals. I enjoyed this match. This was a fantastic match. The Rascals looked fantastic. OVE looked fantastic. You had a lot of great spots. The involvement of... what's his name? Sawyer was great. All three men from the Rascals are just studs. Everything about them works. They go over, get the win. Not the most captivating of matches in terms of like what it could have been if it was just OVE and two members of the Rascals, but I think Sawyer added something unique to it, truthfully. I don't think he harmed it too much. But it definitely was stifled just a smidgen. I'm adjusting things on the fly. Next up, we get the Taya Jordan Grace Knockouts title match. Actually, I'm sorry. No, there was two matches in between. Let me see. Yeah, okay. I missed those. There was the Guido Maritato versus Clayton Gaines and Moose versus Luchasaurus match. The Moose Luchasaurus was the second match. I don't have any photos or screen gaps because I was dealing with something at the moment, and I just completely lost all awareness as to what I was needing to do. Luchasaurus and Moose are about the same size. Good big man match. If I remember correctly, Moose goes over. And then Guido Maritato versus Clayton Gaines. This match is going to cause some conversation on lines. At one point, Guido went to the ringside floor, and the Double Duprees who were escorting Clayton Gaines down are two busty women. And Maritato put his face in their breasts and motorboated them. Now, I wouldn't 100% believe that was a planned spot and that they were absolutely okay with it. But it does come off a little tacky. And then Scott D'Amore said something just fucking flat out stupid. He needs to be muffled. He said in some places that's a Me Too, but in Impact it's just wild, or that's just how it is, or some nonsense bullshit line like that. I think it was like that. It's just crazy in Impact or something like that. And I heard that, like, why make that joke? That's a bad joke. D'Amore's... He needs to not talk as much. Honestly. He needs to not be in the booth anymore. You know, you had D'Lo Brown there. You had... I mean, granted, Dreamer was doing commentary. But you could have easily had Brian Cage do stuff at the desk. I don't even know if he was there that night. If he was, I missed it. I don't remember seeing him at all. I was having some buffering issues, but that was also because I was working while watching, so I don't know if it was just buffering issues on my end because I was taking up my bandwidth, or if there was just issues with the stream itself. I have no idea. So I'm not going to hold that against him. Clayton Gaines looks like $1,000,000 though. Guido Maritato, Little Guido, he gets the win though. I think Clayton Gaines has a future ahead of him though. That's for sure. Next up is the women's match, the Knockouts title match, Taya versus Jordan Grace. This had a good length to it. Jordan hits a bunch of power moves. Taya does her little heelish tactics. They both look like $1,000,000, but Johnny Bravo is the deciding factor. His involvement causes Taya to get the win and retain. Really solid stuff. Nothing to complain about here. Then the triple threat match for the House of Hardcore TV title. Teddy Hart was over like Rover in this match. Everything he did got the biggest pops. Swan looked like a star, and Willie Mack, the defending champion, I think really got outshined in this match. Outshone? What is the past tense of outshined? He didn't look as good as the other two guys. That's not to say Willie Mack didn't look good. Swan was on fire, and Teddy Hart was on a whole nother level. By the by, Teddy Hart showed up with 2 cats tonight and did a promo with one and walked out to the ring with another. So now Teddy is going to be called from here on out Teddy 2 Cats. Yeah. I was thinking Teddy would get the win, but it kind of dawned on me, like, he's Major League Wrestling. He's already a double champion there. I don't see House of Hardcore putting the belt on him. They're like, maybe Rich Swann. No, they're not going to put the belt on Rich Swann. So Willie Mack obviously retained, and I was a little sad. I was like, no. Why? Forsooth. But it was a good match. I liked it. Mack retains. Solid stuff. We then get Sami Callihan versus Eddie Edwards. Easily the match of the night. Hardcore, just debauchery all around. You had Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards in a bat-off. Sami had his big bat, and Eddie had 2 smaller bats. And Eddie, I'm pretty sure, played YYZ on Sami's head. We got a Sawyer Fulton and Sandman running, which was crazy. That was funny as hell. We also got Eddie eating Sami Callihan's spit, which I could have done without, and a couple big hardcore spots. All in all, it was pretty good. Oh, also the NXT Championship and the ECW Championship made appearances in this match. Eddie took a ECW title and smashed Callahan's face, and then Callahan returned the favor with an NXT title and smashing Eddie with it. And I was like, you know what? I approve. A little surprised that those belts even made it to screen, though, considering that, WWE once tried to sue or threaten to sue ECW if they showed, not ECW, threatened to sue TNA back in 2006 when Rhino still had the ECW Championship belt. They said, if you show that, we will sue you. So I'm a little surprised those made it to air. In the main event, though, it was the Great Muta and Tommy Dreamer taking on Johnny Impact and Michael Elgin. Jerry Lynn and, by proxy, Billy Gunn were both supposed to be there tonight. I don't know why they didn't show. Billy Gunn allegedly had real logistical issues traveling to the show. And Jerry Lynn, there was no mention of it as of the time that I'm recording this. There might be by the time you listen to it. They're both signed with AEW, so I have to wonder if that had something to do with it. I don't know, though. Truthfully, I have no idea. Could have been a situation where it's just a coincidence, but also could have been a situation where AEW was like, well, if we can't have Brian Cage, you can't have Jerry Lynn and Billy Gunn. But that would just be taking a payday away from them, and I don't think that they're going to be that petty, so I doubt it. More than likely, they're probably traveling. I don't know where Jerry Lynn lives. Probably Minnesota. At least that's where I thought he lived. Billy Gunn lives in Florida, I think, so maybe there was travel issues getting out of Florida. Maybe they were traveling together. I don't know. But it kind of sucked not having Jerry Lynn in the main event. He was supposed to be the special guest referee. Instead, we have Kid Ref. Oh, yep, I forgot I had photos. My bad. So here we go. Here's some of the main event. Here's the setup. I like the setup. They had 3 of altering length video screens, and then I don't think you can see it here. There was a 4th right over here and a 5th right over here. So match ends. Well, I should probably go a little bit more detail. Dreamer spent most of the match bumping for his team, which I 100% thought was going to be the situation. He did everything he could, but he is just Tommy Dreamer. Great Muta really only had a handful of spots. He hit a nice roll through on Elgin, and not even a roll through. He just did a somersault, I guess you would call it, and then he hit a weak drop kick on Elgin. It was fine though, considering Muda's in his 50s and has 2 bad knees or 2 knee replacements. I'm not at all surprised that was the situation. Dreamer hits a nice. It's basically an FU through a table on Johnny Impact through Elgin, but they called it a DVD, which I was like, that's not right. As mentioned before, there was a fan incident. Dreamer got on the mic and put over Muda to get the match back in its paces. The final segment was great. Taya Valkyrie gets in the ring. Muda puts, I think it was Elgin down with Mist. Then he puts Johnny Impact down with Mist. Then Dreamer hits Taya with water. And Taya's freaking out. Then Dreamer hits her with an RKO. Or as Josh Matthews said in commentary, a cutter. And then Muda hit, I think it was Johnny Impact with a Shining Wizard for the 1-2-3. Afterwards, to kill time because the Joey Ryan match didn't happen. We'll talk about that here in a second. Dreamer talked to Muda, putting him over. And then you could see that he's asking him, do you want a drink? And Muda shakes his head no and leaves. That was funny. Dreamer was the MVP of the night for sure. He made that main event go, especially considering his partner's 4, 5, 6 years older than he is and moves significantly worse than he does. So, all things considered, I think Dreamer did a fine job. So, there was also there was supposed to be a match called Touch It versus Suck It, Joey Ryan versus Billy Gunn. And Joey Ryan, who I'm taking to calling Joey Rape Joke Ryan, because Joey Ryan makes rape jokes that he doesn't apologize for. He just thinks that if you bring it up, you're slandering him or you're raking mud. No, Joey. If you make rape jokes, you're going to get called out on that shit. He came out, and D'Lo Brown came out because he was running the show, and he's like, hey, Joey, Billy Gunn's not here. Then they do a bunch of penis spots because Joey Ryan has a one-trick pony. I understand what I just said. I'll live with it. That was it. It was dumb and awful, and I hated it. I didn't see Brian Cage. I don't know if he was on the show tonight. Oh, wait. I think he did an interview, actually. I think he did an interview with Jimmy Jacobs. I couldn't hear the interview. I remember Jimmy Jacobs doing an interview, but I forgot who it was with. I think it might have been Brian Cage. Might have been Michael Elgin. I don't know. I don't remember. All I know is that it wasn't very memorable, and the show overall could have been a bit better. Audio issues need to be fixed. I don't know why this is still a problem. Overall, though, I'd give it a B-. The main event was really cool. Seeing Muda wrestle is just always going to be a treat for me. The Triple Threat TV title match and the Philly Street Fight were worth the $9.99 or $8.99 alone for it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Moose versus Luchasaurus, what I saw was pretty good. Clayton Gaines against Guido Maritato was a lot of fun because I like seeing new wrestlers. And seeing Guido, even though he's like 48, I still think there's a lot there. I think that's really awesome. The opener OVE versus Rascals match was fantastic, but it could have been a little bit better, truthfully. And the women's match was really good. There wasn't really any downer outside of the audio issues, the scrapping of a match, which just sucks to have to do, even if I don't give a shit about the match. And the, fan interaction. That being said, it was a pretty good show. B-, I think, is a pretty solid grade for it. And, everyone went home in one piece, and that's all you can ask for. Did you see the show? If you did and you want to tell me about it, tell me down below and let me know what you think. Otherwise, be sure to follow us on Twitter at NERDCORP, on Instagram at RealNerdCorp, RealNERDCORP. We're on YouTube.com, obviously, at YouTube.com/NerdCorp, and Twitch.tv at Twitch.tv/RealNerdCorp. We're also on Podbean at RealNerdCorp.podbean.com. And on iTunes for however much longer they have in iTunes by going to the iTunes store and searching us under the podcast section, NerdCorp, NERDCORP. If you want to donate to our Patreon, you can do so down below. But don't worry, there's never going to be a paywall, so it's not like you have to. And if you want to like, comment, and subscribe, you can do all that as well. But I'm not going to make you or ask you to because it's your life, and you know if you want to or not. So don't worry about it if you don't want to. Also, just again, if you want to tell me what you thought of the show, do so down below. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for giving us a chance. And remember, as always, to watch more wrestling.